In last week's video, we replaced the rotten plywood around the hatches. We then glassed over the ply, but it looks like we need to repeat this very same process in another area, also around the hatch, where balsa is rotten. What do you reckon? We're gonna have to lay more mats, more fiberglass?
Yeah. Another 3 layers at least.
Okay. It looks very solid.
Skocz.
Nie.
Skocz, no co? Mocniej. Kanzu do góry skocz.
Nie.
No tak. No dawaj. Nic.
Pękło.
I co teraz? Dzwonię po policję.
And again, we use some filler to fill some of those gaps. So when we glass it again, the cloth will lay flat and we won't have big voids where air bubbles would most likely form. We need to cut bigger opening for the new hatches, and we start by making the templates. So the hatches should arrive in a couple of days, but this doesn't stop us from making the cutouts now, ready for some glass work around them. We have the cutout size dimensions and the radius, and that's all we really need. A drugą stronę. Do siebie wejdzie. Jak chleb. We measure out the radius given in specs. We set compass to radius and start at the corners, and we repeat the same from a point where lines intersect. And voila! We end up with the exact hatch radius. And that's it. That's our deeper hatch, the biggest one we've got. So here we had to be careful because the bulkhead is literally somewhere around here, so we couldn't move it too much further down, and also we couldn't move the hatch this way because you can see here this ends here, and obviously this is a cutout, but there's also the overall size of the hatch, which is about 3.5 centimeters bigger.
Ja go tak zrobię, tak go przysunę w tą stronę bardziej, nie? Tak. To w niczym nie przeszkadza, z tego względu, że i tak wkleję plyuda, tylko później od spodu musisz żywicą to zrobić, nie? Mi się tak wydaje. Bo mówię, bo tutaj jest 3,5 centa, jest, tutaj wychodzi, nie? Jest na samym edge. Jest po prostu więcej naprawy od środka, nie? Dodajesz sobie roboty.
So the hatches that we always wanted to have were the Lunar Ocean hatch. They were a little bit outside of, by a big amount, they were outside of our budget. So we then started looking at different options like fetus or even gibbo, and we were this close from getting gibbo hatches. But they were able to offer us a bit of a discount. So we are going with Lumar now. We're going to have the hatches that we always wanted to have.
We also managed to find the hatches for our saloon, which was also a big problem to get them. But finally we decided to buy whatever is the closest size we can get.
So that we don't have to go with the custom-made hatch, custom-made, which they don't know they can make.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. If they cannot make it, they cannot make it, so we have to find something. So we found one morning, we went online and we just finally find 2 Vitus hatches.
Perhaps they wouldn't be normally our first choice in terms of the design and the type of hatch, but it just fits the openings that we've got.
Which is good.
In the end, it all works out. The first woven cloth is a bit of a nightmare to lay. No matter how precisely you cut it, it stretches a lot and it's all over the place. So definitely not our favorite in terms of easiness to work with. Perhaps it is a matter of getting used to working with it. But a good thing about it is that it easily conforms to sharper bends and curvatures, and that's exactly what we are looking to achieve here, since we would like to glass the inside of the cutouts for the hatches. And moving on to the bonding of a new plywood core. All goes well until I show up. So I messed up a little. When I was helping Ziggy, instead of mixing the resin hardener and the adhesive, I straight away added adhesive to the resin without the hardener. And I only realized that when I passed Ziggy 1 cup of the mixture and he added it to the surface already.
Co? Co się stało?
Pośpieszyłam się. Czyli nie dałam hardenera do tego.
Weźmy, nie mów, proszę cię.
Tak, przysięgam.
Misiek, ja muszę raz wszystko wyczyścić, bo niektóre z hardenerem, niektóre bez. No ty sobie jaja robisz.
So we had to take it off. And we've got a delay. It is what it is. Mistakes happen. Very silly of me, but yeah, it did happen. It's good that I realized it in time. So we removed it and we didn't put the plywood in place with the resin with no hardener because it would never cure. So gotta look at the bright side. Little by little, and this repair is looking better, but we are not there yet.
A co myślisz, że murle jest? tak, 100%. Musimy robić, aż dojdziemy na równo. Jeszcze naprawdę 3 warstwy poczyścić.
Here with narrow belt sander, Ziggy is sanding those places where there was damage to top skin on the deck. He already did the same in the cockpit, which I am priming for some fairing compound to fill those spots. We decided it is best to fill those voids with filler to even out the surface before we lay glass over it. We finished the filler. It was just about enough for this cockpit. For once, I'm going to spare you watching all that sanding and jump straight to the end result. It's not like there's anyone out there who likes sanding or watching someone else sanding. Is there?
In circles, but I'm still on the ground.
We're only laying 2 glass cloths here, just to reinforce it a little. Not that it is absolutely necessary, but we might as well do it.
I would give a lot to get away. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to me? Or just sit beside me and never leave? I got the curtains up. I guess it would be nice if you could interrupt. It's a day like this. It's a day I really would have missed. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to me? Or just sit beside me and never leave?
You probably thought this was the end of the repair, but not just yet. This is likely the last glass work we do on this part. The difference this time is that we will laminate it so that it overlaps the edges of the hatch plinth to join with the main deck. For some reason, there was an error on that file and I couldn't recover it, so I cannot show you the whole process. But you get the gist. We ordered 6 new cleats, the ones at the bow, the midships, and at the stern of the boat. What we did, because the new cleats will not have the same openings as the old ones, so you know, the openings that go through the deck, we had to seal these old openings off. The repair we made, we just beveled out. When I say we, I mean Ziggy has beveled out all the openings. We filled with thickened epoxy, and then we glassed over with biaxial cloth. Nice and smooth surface, I'll tell you that, you can believe me. And you couldn't tell there was anything here before. We also reinforced it from underneath with more fiberglass. so bulletproof. Ziggy's pretty generous here with that fairing compound, so you know what that means. A lot of sanding tomorrow is guaranteed. Alright, that's it for this week's video. We will return next week with some more content, and you can bet there is more fiberglass work to come. We've been receiving such a positive response to our videos lately, I cannot thank you guys enough. And don't forget to give us thumbs up if you like this video and drop a comment below. Ciao ciao!